Okay, my name is Coach Melissa J, or Coach Melissa, depending on which one you know me by. So if you're new, that's what most people call me, or they just call me Coach. The reason being, I am a wellness coach. One of my focuses is on pain, and that is pain, addressing it physically, dietarily, and emotionally. And what we've been dealing with, we went through the physically, some of it, and we are now in the diet. So we are currently on day 3 of the elimination plan. I hate to call it a diet because there's so many diets out there, and that sounds really restrictive, and this one is. But it's a plan. So we are doing 1 week when this program generally takes 6 to 8 weeks. Hey, I think that's Sierra, by the way. 6 to 8 weeks. To complete the first 3, you eliminate everything, and the next 3, you bring everything back. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about this evening, is bringing things back. So about now, you should be a little bit aggravated, possibly a little bit tired, just in general, because you've cut out the things that you normally intake. And that's normal. With any change of program or patterns, that is normal. So we'll talk about what you're going to do when you bring everything back. And when I say everything, those that messaged me or I sent them information have eliminated wheat or white flour products, sugar, and dairy. So my suggestion is going to be to bring wheat products back first. And it's hard to bring wheat back without sugar. But if you have less than 4 grams of sugar, you can still have that product. Now, that will be Monday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is wheat. Then you're going to bring back, I would suggest sugar, because then that broadens what you're able to eat back. That'll be Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then Sunday, I would suggest you bring back milk products. So when I say milk products, I mean non-cheese. Now you can bring everything back at once, but the problem is some people are sensitive. Without being lactose intolerant, they're sensitive to milk, but they can have cheese. So if you bring them back together, you don't know which one of them caused you an issue, and then you have to eliminate both. So I would suggest that you do milk for 3 days, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Then you bring back cheese, and that kind of gives you a better indication of which one may be a sensitivity. Now, we are not talking about disorders or dysfunctions such as celiac disease or those type of lactose intolerant, where you have really severe symptoms, but we are talking about foods that cause sensitivities. Why 3 days? Well, it takes up to 72 hours for your body to have a reaction to a sensitivity. So what happens if we're eating all of the things that cause these sensitivities, we don't know what causes it. You know, it's 3 days later and you're trying to figure it out and you don't know what it is. Some IBS is actually caused by food sensitivities that we have no way of tracking. So doing an elimination, especially if you have symptoms, and when I'm talking about symptoms, these are the ones that you've probably had before, and these are the ones that you're going to identify a sensitivity with. So those are bowel changes, either more loose or less often. Fatigue, that general malaise that you just feel really just yucky. You cannot focus. It can, if it gets severe enough, it can actually cause depression and anxiety. We're also talking about joint pain, and then the obvious stomach pain, bloating, gas, those type of things. But some of the others are less identifiable, associated with food sensitivities. So if you felt that way before, and you've done this program, 1 week can give you an indicator. I would suggest that if you are feeling that much better by Sunday, to extend this elimination by at least a week before you start bringing stuff back 3 weeks is optimal. Then bring them back the way I was telling you to bring them back, 3 days at a time, and really gauge what is causing those sensitivities, because it can be a game changer. One of the things that food sensitivity has been linked to is atypical, not symptomatic, atypical migraines, meaning they do not follow the medicatable patterns, but they are severe. They're, maybe they're not, you don't get floaties or orbs or, have to go sit in the dark, but you just have really strong head pressure and headaches. That can very much be from a food sensitivity. So eliminating it and bringing it back piece by piece is going to help you identify it. Now, there is a food sensitivity test that I would suggest that if you're that curious to do. The clinic that I used to work at worked with this particular company and this particular test. So if you're interested, just private message me. I'll send you the information. You can go through them or another chiropractic office or something like that to get that test done. But this is a very inexpensive way to find out whether or not you have sensitivities. Now, I had somebody comment that they tried the caveman diet, which is kind of like carnivore. It's not a whole lot of grains or definitely no processed food. And they were really angry people, an angry person, which coming off of sugar has been tested to activate the same places in the brain as coming off of heroin. Or eating sugar can be as addictive in brain activity as a drug, as heroin can be. So if that tells you anything, that's pretty, it's not necessarily the best for you. Now, when you bring back sugar, some of you may get some drainage here in your ears and your nose, like instantly. And then some, I guess, again, it'll take 72 hours. My suggestion is to ensure that when you bring it back, don't go stuff your face with a donut, but to take in something that has less than 20 carbohydrates in it, 20 grams of carbohydrate, because that is, if you don't do it like that, you're going to shock your body and your blood sugar is going to raise. You may get jittery heart palpitations. Then you may get really fatigued after about an hour or so. So there are some little tweaks. I know anybody that did sign up, just get the information from me, has some of those tweaks in the information that I sent them. But if you do have questions, I'm more than happy to answer those questions for you. And last but not least, I do want to thank any of you that wore red to participate in the awareness for the murdered and missing Indigenous women. And then for those of you that celebrate Cinco de Mayo, have fun this evening, be responsible, as the commercials always say. And I will see you guys on Monday. Please share, like the page, send me comments, send me questions. I'm here to help, and we hope that we can help you do better. Have a good evening.